Hi, I'm Todd with prepperchurch.com. One of the types of articles that does really well on Prepper website are articles that talk about mutual assistant groups or building community for when the poop hits the fan. That's a difficult concept to, it's not a difficult concept to understand, but it's a difficult concept to kind of bring together because there's a lot of factors that go into it. First of all, there's the idea of OPSEC. And there's so many, preppers take that to an extreme. And guys, really with the extreme on that, if you take that OPSEC to extreme, you will never ever link up with anybody else. You will never trust anybody else. You will never get to the point where you can have that relationship with someone else as far as it goes, past, whatever you're allowed to give. So there's got to be a little bit of trust and a little bit of belief in your fellow man. And so, that's one thing that I want to kind of throw out there. But the other thing is just finding people, right? I usually go something like this. Go to a gun range, go to a garden club, go to, get involved with some kind of ham radio club, get involved with organizations or groups that are prepper friendly. And then while you're there, you're kind of waiting for someone to talk a little bit about preparedness, or maybe talk about how bad the economy is doing, or they drop something about zombies or something like that. And then in your head you're like, that's somebody that I can link up with. That's somebody that might have a little bit of interest in preparedness, and somebody that we could maybe form a group together. The problem, again, with that is that it's going to take a long time. I mean, you'll go to one of these groups and you're involved and you're doing those kinds of things, and hopefully it's a hobby, something that you really like to do already, but you're waiting for someone that you feel like you can link up with. And it might take a long time for you to grab one or two people, maybe they and their families, that where you can build a group. So I have an idea that I want to share with Christians, and then those of you who are not, then an idea at the end of this video as well, so that you might be able to use. But the idea and the purpose of this would be to help you build your own group. And not necessarily where you're going out and finding someone and trying to link up with someone, but you're building your own group. And I think that for a Christian, the best way to do that is to start a Bible study. And so you think about that. You have a Bible study, you have Christians coming together and talking about the Word. You have that in common. You're getting to know each other about the Word and how you feel about God and how you feel about the things of God. You're praying together and those kinds of things. But then also it gets to a point where if something happens, if the poop hits the fan, there are people that you can trust and people that you have built a relationship with, people that that you can count on when the going gets rough. And so I want to offer my website as a place where Christian preppers can link up with each other. And so at prepperchurch.com, in the menu bar, I have the link that says community groups. And in there, I talk a little bit about Bible study and how to do your own Bible study. I mean, there's many different ways of doing your own Bible study, but I do have a way of just doing your Bible study. It makes it really, really easy. Not a whole lot of preparation and things like that where, if you're working and you got a full-time job and you got kids and you got all those kinds of things, it makes it a little bit easier. And so a place where you can go and let's say you can look for a Bible study. Now, right now when I'm making this video, there's only one, there's only mine. There's a lot of interest when I put that Bible study out in Northwest Houston. A lot of people from all over the country were emailing me and telling me, man, I wish there was something like that in my city, in my community. And so my encouragement was start your own. And so I'm going to put that out there again, start your own. And so on the website, I will, by state, I will list the states, and then by city, go ahead and put, if you're interested in starting a small group Bible study, then I'll go ahead and put your name in there, and then go ahead and have your email contact, and then you can go ahead and people who are interested would email you and get a hold of you, and then y'all would link up somewhere together. And so, it might take a little bit of time. Like I said, mine is the only one that's on there right now, and I'm hoping that there's other people that will send me an email and say, hey, Todd, add my state, and here's my name, and here's my email address. You know what? And if you don't want people to have your email address, you don't want it out there, then go ahead and make a Yahoo, make a Gmail, make a free one, and then use that solely for this purpose for other people to link up with you. Now, of course, OPSEC is going to be coming, come into play. And so what I would tell you, I'm not saying not to use OPSEC, not to allow that to be part of who you are in your preparedness. You need to be wise. You need to use discernment. But something like, not inviting everybody over to your home, but maybe setting up in a coffee shop. So you put it out there and someone contacts you and says, hey, I'm interested in getting together with a Bible study or doing a Bible study. And so you're like, great, let's meet at the Starbucks, or let's meet at this coffee shop, or let's meet at this restaurant, or let's meet at this park, or let's meet, wherever it is. And you get to know each other for, a little bit, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. And when you feel comfortable, maybe then you can start divulging more information about yourself and more about your preps. I think anybody that's going through prepperchurch.com is already going to be a prepper, but so you can divulge more. Maybe you're meeting at each other's homes and things like that. Let's say somebody else contacts you and wants to link up with y'all as well to do a Bible study. Well, then, maybe you go back to the coffee shop. Both the other two people or the family that has already linked up together say, you know what, let's go back to the coffee shop and let's kind of see what this person is about and see if we feel comfortable with. And if not, well, then you just, you don't invite them over for another Bible study. But that's a way to do it. And when you're coming and you're approaching it from that standpoint, you already have something in common. If you're building a mutual assistant group from firearms and gardening, and you're going to have firearms, in common. You might have gardening in common, but the things that are important, the things that drive your life, God, Jesus, the Bible, which should be your standard for everything, you're not going to find that when you go to these other places. So you go to a gun range and you link up with someone, but I don't know. They might be. You might believe in every conspiracy that's out there. They might not believe in any conspiracies. They might believe that, you can be very aggressive out there in preparedness and go after anybody that you need to. And they might say, you know what, I like to take a sit and watch approach. So anyway, you might have a Republican, Democrat, liberal, libertarian, whatever. People who love the government, people who hate the government, people who are patriotic, people who are not. So there's all different kinds of things. But like I said, when you do it within a Bible study, well, then you're doing it and you have that foundation, which is the most important foundation for any Christian. That's the thing right there. Make sure that you can believe in those people that are with you. So on the website, on that community groups page, I have some, I kind of share how I do the Bible study. And it's been going. I didn't start my Bible study as a mutual assistant group, but you know what? If things start happening, there are a lot of people. All those people that are in there, I'm going to want to be able to communicate with. I want to be able to say, hey, if you need a place, let's go here, let's do this, let's link up together. And we all believe in preparedness, everybody who's there. So I think that in the Bible, and so those are two things that are very, very important to all of us that are there. So I want to kind of throw it out there. So anyway, on the community group page on the website, I list how I do the website, or how I do the Bible study, excuse me. But then also I have a link that opens up to a Google document on doing some icebreakers, just to kind of, when you first get together, just to kind of know each other. And really, if there's just two people doing it, you really don't need to do that. But if there's a group, yeah, definitely, that's something you want to do. And just some basic icebreakers to do. And then what we've been doing is we'll go through a chapter of the Bible or a couple of chapters of the Bible every week, and I'll write some questions, and other people come with what questions and thoughts thoughts and ideas they have, and we all gather together. So anyway, I've been writing down all these questions in Google Docs, and so you'll have a folder that'll open up. You have a link to it that will open up, and you can click on the different book of the Bible, and it'll give you questions for the chapters that we have covered so far. And I'll continue to add to that and continue to put that out there as a resource. And again, that just makes it really, really easy for people to come together and to talk about the Word and to pray together and to share how what God is doing in their lives, and to have somebody who knows where they're, that can share where their beliefs are the same as far as preparedness goes. And then also they have that common bond in the Word, in the faith. And so I want to go ahead and put that out there, that I want to use the website as a resource to anyone who would be wanting to start a Bible study. And again, I'm telling you to use wisdom, but at the same time, just to temper that OPSEC, because I just feel that there's a lot of people out there who will never ever link up with anybody else because of OPSEC. They'll miss out on linking up with great people because they feel that they just need to come in and on their own. And really, that's kind of a take on the lone wolf. There's not too many people that believe in that lone wolf way of survival and preparedness. I think everybody in preparedness has realized that that's not the way to go. You need a group. You need other people to belong, that belong to each other. But even if it's just your family, that's still not going to be enough. You need to be able to have people that can, if you need to have security, can stand up for security. You need to be able to cross-train different skills. If one person knows gardening, but then something happens to that person and no one else knows how to garden, that's not good. So you need people that you can depend on and people that you can come together with. So I think when people talk about OPSEC and it's just my family and I and us four and no more. It's still kind of the lone wolf mentality, because it's just your family, and eventually your preps are going to run out, your food is going to run out. You're going to need people that you can hook up with and link up with. And so that's one reason why you want to have a mutual assistant group. I think that could be a real blessing. So those of you that are not Christians, and maybe you've gotten this far in the video and you're kind of wondering, hey, well, what about me? I'm not a Christian, but and I don't necessarily believe in the Bible. What can I do, Todd? So one of the great resources out there is meetup.com. And actually that's, when I first got into preparedness, I went to meetup.com to see if there was anybody in the Houston area that was linking up already, and there was 2 or 3 groups, one that wasn't very active and one that was just starting. And so I went to that one a couple of times, but it was just on the other side of town, and during the week I wasn't able to get to it. But if you want to set up a meetup, then go ahead and do it. It doesn't cost a lot of money. I think it's like $10 or $15 a month. But you set it up, and maybe you gather a couple of people, and then or a couple of families, 3 or 4 families, and then you go ahead and shut down that meetup. But you can put it out there, and you can kind of get together, and maybe it's around a hobby, maybe it's around camping, maybe it's around something like that. But people are looking to that. So when people go to meetup.com, they're looking for other people to link up with. They're looking for people that have the same hobbies and things like that. So I don't know, you can make a group, guys with Glocks or something like that, or like I said, camping or gardening or just preparedness. I mean, go like a prepper group and see where that goes. But there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of other websites as well. At Prepper website, if you go below, you search some of those. There's some forums, and I think American Prepper AmericanPreppers.com has some people or forums that you can link up with that are divided by state and then city and different things like that. So you can find someone there. But again, I think it's something that is necessary. And those of you that are Christians that aren't going to church, you should be going to church. But I think this is a great way to go ahead and still build that faith in that community. The Bible says that you should not forsake the assembly of the saints. And so where 2 or more are gathered there, he will be also. So coming together and worshiping God that way, I think that's important. So for some of y'all who maybe are burnt out on church, or you can't find a good church, that might be something that can lead to something else. And who knows, maybe your group gets so big you wind up starting a church off of that. So again, a little bit about mutual assistance groups and how Christians can go ahead and start one very easily, and then an idea for those of you who are not Christians, how you can start one as well. And so again, go to the website, preparedchurch.com, look at that community group page, and like I said, if you want to start one in your city, go ahead and send me an email, and we'll put that up there, and we'll get it to where, you know, people start emailing you, and I'd love to hear if that's going on. I'd love to be able to hear about those great stories that are happening. I just want to say one more thing. I think that when we're where we are right now in history, I think it's very, very important that those of us who are believers are looking to what God is doing. We're looking to, you know, what God is saying to us, and also preparing. And so I want to kind of leave you with that. Thanks so much for watching the video. I would appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it if you can share out the videos, and if you have a comment, leave a comment. And maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. Yeah, you know, go ahead, leave a comment there. And you can like us on Twitter and on Facebook as well. I will put a link also in the description to the Prepper website tag page that deals with mutual assistant groups and community groups, that, you know, you might find some other articles that might be of interest. All right, thanks so much. God bless.